The sign of purity you asked me for has arrived. Stop what you are doing right now. Just for a minute, hold your phone steady, turn down the volume of the world outside, and truly listen to me. I did not bring you to this video by chance, and I did not bring you by mistake. That prayer you whispered in the dark of your room when you thought no one was listening, the one where you asked to feel clean again, light again, worthy again, it was heard. And the answer began today, here, now, to change your life. I know the weight you carry. This feeling that inside something is dirty, stained, ruined in a way you cannot even explain. The sensation that you do not deserve the good things you ask for, because a part of you remembers exactly what you did, or what you failed to do. You smile in photos, you hug your children, you go to work, pay the bills, answer the phone, and say that everything is fine. But there is a corner inside you that even you cannot look at properly. A locked corner where the guilt of years resides. And this guilt gives you no peace. I will be direct with you, because your time is precious and your pain is too real for me to beat around the bush. In this video, I will reveal 3 things, and each of them will take a weight off your shoulders. First, why you feel impure, even when no one points a finger at you, even when everyone thinks you are a good person. Second, where this stain that has been haunting you for so long truly comes from, and I guarantee you, it is not where you imagine. And third, how to recognize the sign of purity that I have already begun to place in your life, and what you need to do the exact instant it appears. Do not leave, because what you are about to hear in the next few minutes is exactly what you tried to ask me for and never knew how to put into words. Have you ever noticed that there are times when it feels like something inside you is crying out for help? It is not your body. It is not the bill due on the 10th. It is something deeper. It is your soul trying to breathe under a layer of old guilt that you have never been able to wash away. You went to the chapel, you prayed, you asked for forgiveness on your knees, and at the time you even felt a relief. But 2-3 days later, the weight returned, as if the forgiveness hadn't stuck to you. As if you were the only person in the world that I cannot cleanse, and it is exactly about this lie that I need to speak to you. That is why I prepared a powerful digital book for you. Its name is How to Know If You Will Be Saved on Judgment Day. And I know what is going through your mind right now. That restlessness that tightened your chest when I spoke of stains, of guilt, of not being worthy. That was not by chance. That was your soul recognizing the voice it has been waiting for a long time. Many people are watching this video right now, but only a portion will feel what you are feeling. The others hear words. You are hearing a calling, and those who are called carry a responsibility, because your purity is not just about you. It is about the home you sustain, about the children who look up to you, about the spiritual inheritance you will leave for those you love. This book was written to show you with clarity the path that separates those who live in doubt from those who live in the certainty of forgiveness. The link is in the description of this video and also pinned at the top of the comments so you do not get lost. I have seen the lives of ordinary men and women change after understanding what is written there, people who slept with a tight chest and returned to sleeping in peace. But I must warn you with the love of a father, this content may be taken down at any moment, and the calling that beats in your chest today may not beat with the same strength tomorrow. Do not postpone what I have placed in front of you right now. If you felt that these words are for you, comment just one word below. Amen. Let your yes be registered before me. Now take a deep breath, because I am going to show you the symptoms. And I want you to recognize yourself in each of them without judging yourself, without condemning yourself. Just recognize. The first symptom of a soul asking for purity is waking up in the middle of the night. That dead hour, 3 or 4 in the morning, when you wake up for no reason, and the first thing that comes to your head is not a bill, not work. It is a scene, a memory, something you did 10, 20, 30 years ago. A harsh word you said to your father or your mother, and which ended up being the last, because they were gone before you could fix it. A betrayal, money you took and never returned. A lie that grew and became another life. A decision you made alone and never told anyone about. You stay there in the dark, looking at the ceiling, and that scene plays again, as if it happened yesterday. This is not insomnia. This is your conscience knocking on a door you locked. The second symptom is more subtle, and perhaps you have never noticed it. You avoid your own eyes. You pass by the bathroom mirror, fix your hair, brush your teeth, but you do not look deep. You do not face yourself, because deep inside, in the depths of your gaze, lives someone who knows everything, and it is easier to look away than to face it. The third symptom you know well, self-sabotage. Something good comes into your life, a job opportunity, a relationship that is working out, a chance to start over, and without understanding why, you find a way to ruin it. You procrastinate, you fight, you run away. You find a flaw where there isn't one. Do you know why? Because a part of you believes deep down that you do not deserve good things. And those who think they are dirty run from blessings the same way they run from the light. The fourth symptom is comparison. You look at other people, the neighbor, your sister, the co-worker, that beautiful family from the chapel, and think, these people are clean, they are righteous, they are at peace, not me. I am different. I have a factory defect. You created in your head the idea that there is a club of pure people and that you were born to stay on the outside looking through the window. And there is the fifth symptom, which is perhaps the cruelest of all. It is when you pray, but you pray with shame. You speak to me, but you speak like someone talking to a judge and not to a father. You ask me for things with your head bowed, thinking you are bothering me, thinking you have already used up all my chances. You imagine that I keep a list and that your name is full of red marks. And it is precisely at this point that I need to stop you. That is why I prepared the powerful digital book for you, How to Know If You Will Be Saved on Judgment Day. You just recognized yourself in these symptoms. I felt your soul tremble. And if it trembled, it is because it is time for you to stop carrying this alone. The link is in the description and pinned at the top of the comments. Do not leave for later what I have placed in front of you today. The time for your decision is now, not tomorrow. Now that you have recognized the symptoms, let's go to the most important part of all, the causes. Because as long as you do not know where this stain comes from, you will continue washing the wrong clothes, scrubbing the wrong place, and wondering why the dirt does not come off. The first cause, and the greatest of all, is a lie. A lie that you were taught when you were a child, and that took root so deep that today you think it is the truth. The lie is this: that purity must be earned, that you must be perfect to be clean, that you must pay, suffer, punish yourself, wait a long time, and only then perhaps will I accept you back. You grew up hearing that God is like a heavy-handed boss, always watching your mistakes, with a red pencil in hand, ready to deduct. And so you spent your whole life trying to buy from me something I always wanted to give you for free. You are exhausted because you are trying to pay, with the sweat of your guilt, a debt that I already cancelled on the cross. You have woken up early your whole life to work on a debt that was already paid. The second cause is accumulated guilt. Think of a house that has never been truly cleaned. No one sees the dust of one day. But the dust of 30 years becomes a thick layer that suffocates everything, that gets into your throat, that darkens the walls. Every mistake you made and never brought to the light, everything you hid, every weight you pushed under the rug of your soul, none of that disappeared. It stayed there, accumulating, gathering, creating a crust. And today you walk through your own life with difficulty breathing, because the inner air is heavy with things you never let out. The third cause is the most stubborn of all, and I need you to pay close attention, because this is where the key lies. You have not forgiven yourself. And look at the difference. You asked me for forgiveness, and I forgave you in the same instant, without hesitating, without charging anything, without making a sour face. But you did not receive it. You stayed standing at the door of forgiveness, with your hand on the knob without entering. You became harder on yourself than I ever was. You condemned yourself to a sentence I never signed. There are people who have carried for 30 years a sentence that I tore up 30 years ago. There are people who are still serving time inside a prison that I demolished. And perhaps, just perhaps, you are one of these people. The fourth cause is the secret, that which you have never told anyone. Not your husband, not your wife, not your closest friend, not the priest, not the pastor. And I need to explain an ancient spiritual law. Everything that stays in the dark grows. The guilt you hide does not diminish with time, it grows. It feeds on silence like weeds feed on rain. That is why that mistake from 20 years ago still has the strength to wake you up in the middle of the night, because you keep it alive in the darkness watered by shame. It is not the mistake itself that haunts you. It is the hiding place of the mistake. It is the locked safe. The fifth cause is the weight that comes from behind. You look at your family and see a pattern repeating itself. The same pain your mother carried on her face, the same silent anger of your father, the same fights, the same vices, the same silences, the same absences, repeating from generation to generation as if it were a family inheritance. And without realizing it, at some point in life, you assumed this burden as if it were yours by birth, as if it were your spiritual surname. You are paying a bill that started being created before you were born. And the sixth cause, the one that closes the cycle and binds everything. You confused what you did with who you are. At some point in your life, the thought, "I made a mistake," turned into the thought, "I am a mistake." And this exchange of a single word changed absolutely everything inside you. Because "I made a mistake" can be fixed. It is an act, and acts can be forgiven, corrected, left behind. But "I am a mistake" feels like a dead-end sentence. It feels like a permanent diagnosis. And it was this phrase said by you about yourself, repeated in silence for decades, that became the true stain. Pay attention to this, because it will set you free. It was not the sin that dirtied you so much. It was the lie you believed about yourself after it. Now listen to me with your heart wide open, because here is the truth that dissolves all of this at once. You are not impure because you sinned. Everyone sins. The righteous fall 7 times and rise 7 times. You feel impure because you believed that your sin was stronger than my forgiveness, and it was not. It never was. There is no stain in your history greater than my ability to wash you. What holds you is not the size of what you did. It is the too small size you gave to my grace. You made your mistake a giant and made my mercy a dwarf, and it is time to invert that. I know it is a lot to absorb at once, and it is precisely at this point, where your mind is open and your heart has begun to soften, that I need to place a firm tool in your hands. That is why I prepared the powerful digital book for you, How to Know If You Will Be Saved on Judgment Day. You just discovered that your stain is not in what you did, but in the lie you believed. And this discovery is only the beginning of the path. There is an entire road after it, and that road is written step by step, page by page, inside this book. It was made for the person who is tired of living in doubt and finally wants the certainty that they are at peace with me, ready for whatever comes. You did not arrive at this exact moment of the video by distraction. You arrived because your soul is ready. This good discomfort you feel now is the sign that something inside you wants to be born again and wants to take your entire house with it. Think of your children. Think of those who sleep under the same roof as you. The purity you receive will not stop with you. It becomes a new chain, a clean inheritance for those who come after you. The link is in the description and also pinned at the top of the comments, very easy to find. I have seen ordinary fathers and mothers read these pages and become the person their family has been waiting for years. But I ask you with the firmness of a father, do not let this moment pass. The content may be taken down, life starts running again, the phone rings, and today's calling becomes just a memory tomorrow. Decide now. And if you feel that these words are a direct answer to your prayer, write here in the comments, I receive it. Seal this moment before me. Now the time has come that you have waited for the entire video. The solution, the sign of purity, what it is, how to recognize it, and what to do when it arrives, because it is already on its way to your life. And the first thing I need to unlock inside your head is this. The sign of purity is not what you imagine. You are waiting for an explosion, a sweeping emotion, tears flowing, chills in your body, a light in the room, a feeling of euphoria that will warn you in big letters, ready now you are clean. And when that does not come, you think it did not work, that it was not worth it, that you were not reached. But the sign of purity is not noisy. It is silent. It does not arrive like a party with fireworks. It arrives like a silence. And it is not just any silence, it is the silence of a very specific voice, the silence of the voice that accused you. Let me explain this properly. For years there was a voice inside you, a voice that repeated quietly without stopping. You are no good. You don't deserve it. Remember what you did. God hasn't forgotten. Eventually the bill comes due. You got so used to this voice that you started to think it was mine. It was not, it never was. I never spoke to you like that. That was the voice of the accusation, of the accuser. And it will live inside your inner house until the day you decide to evict it, put its suitcase at the door, and send it away. And the sign of purity is exactly this. The day that this voice tries to speak and finds no more room to sit. You will be doing something simple, washing the dishes after lunch, stuck in traffic coming home from work, laying your head on the pillow at night, and the old memory will try to return. But this time it will arrive without strength, without weight, without that knot in your stomach. You will think of it and feel peace where before you felt a stab. This is the sign. When the memory of your failure no longer hurts, it is because I have already washed you. The scar will still be there, because the history happened, but the wound will be closed. And a closed wound does not hurt. It only reminds. But for this sign to appear with clarity in your life, you need to walk. I am not going to just give you a pretty idea. I am going to give you the steps, 5 steps, and I will give you all of them now, for free, in detail, because you stayed with me until here, and that, to me, means that your heart is ready. The first step is to bring it to the light. Remember, I told you that what stays in the dark grows. So the first thing you are going to do is open your mouth. Today, still today, before sleeping, you will speak to me out loud. Not in thought, out loud, even if whispered, even if alone in the car or in the bathroom, and you will say the exact name of what you are hiding, without beating around the bush, without disguise, without that generic phrase of, Lord, forgive my sins. No. You will say in plain words, Lord, I did this. Lord, I hid that. Lord, this is the thing that accuses me in the middle of the night, and its name is this. The instant the secret becomes a spoken word, it loses half of its power at once, because the hiding place breaks, and what you throw into my light I do not return to you. I wash it, I rinse it, I dry it, and I keep what remains of good. The second step is to renounce the lie. You will take that phrase that became your identity. I am a mistake. I cannot be fixed. I don't deserve it. I am a shame. And you will say out loud that it is no longer yours. You will return this phrase to whoever sold it to you, and you will exchange the sentence. You will say, I made a mistake, but I am not my mistake. I fell, but I was lifted up. I have a past, but my past no longer owns my soul. Repeat this every day until your mouth believes it even before your head does, because faith begins in the declaration, not in the feeling. First you speak, then you feel. The third step, and perhaps the most difficult of all for you, is to forgive yourself. I have already forgiven you. That has been resolved for a long time on my side. Now I give you an order as a father, with all the love that exists. Stop charging yourself for a debt that I have already paid. When you continue punishing yourself after I have already forgiven you, you are, without realizing it, saying to my face that my forgiveness was not enough. You are saying that your self-condemnation is worth more than my absolution, and it is not. Receiving forgiveness is an act of humility. It is accepting that my grace is greater than your mistake, and also greater than your pride in wanting to pay alone. There are people who do not forgive themselves out of pride, disguised as repentance. Do not be that person. Bow your head, but not to punish yourself. Bow your head to receive. The fourth step is to cut the chain from behind. Remember the weight that comes from your family, the patterns that repeat themselves. You will stand before me and declare that the chain ends with you, that you will not hand down to your children the same anger, the same silence, the same guilt, the same fear that was handed to you. You will say, Lord, what came from behind stops here, it goes no further. In me the story changes. And know one thing. When one person in a family decides to truly cleanse themselves, they do not cleanse themselves alone. They open a new door for those who come after. You can be the first of your lineage to hand down peace as an inheritance instead of a wound. This is big. This is eternal. This is worth the effort. The fifth step is to guard it. Purity is not a trophy you win once and hang on the living room wall forever. It is a state you protect every day with small choices. You protect it by not returning to the same place of falling. You protect it by not feeding the guilt when it tries to reinstall itself. You protect it by not lending your ear to the voice of accusation when it comes disguised as conscience. And you protect it mainly in a simple way. Every morning before the world screams at you, before picking up your phone, before coffee, you will reserve 2 minutes for me. Just 2. And in those 2 minutes, you will not ask me for anything. You will thank me for being clean in the present. Not Lord, cleanse me one day, but Lord, thank you because I am clean now. Because being thankful for what already is makes purity take deep root inside you. What is thanked is solidified. Now I want you to do one thing with me. I want you to imagine a scene. Imagine yourself 3 months from now. It is the middle of the night again, that same dead hour. You wake up, and the old memory comes, as it always did. But this time, something is different. This time you smile in the dark. You think that has passed, that has been washed away, that no longer governs me, that is just a page of a book I have already finished reading. And you turn to your side, adjust the pillow, and sleep. Truly sleep. Imagine yourself standing in front of the bathroom mirror, and this time you face your own eyes without looking away, without rushing, because there is nothing left inside, hidden from yourself. Imagine your children, your grandchildren, growing up next to a person who does not pass on the weight, but the lightness. Imagine yourself in the chapel or in prayer in your home, speaking to me with your head held high, as a child speaks to a father and not as a defendant speaks to a judge. This scene is not a pretty dream to console you. It is a promise. And it begins today with the 5 steps I have just placed in your hand. But I know there is a huge difference between hearing the path and walking it. Hearing warms the heart for a day. Walking changes the entire life. Many people will close this video moved, and tomorrow will be in exactly the same place, because emotion without direction evaporates. And I do not want that for you. I did not bring you here for you to feel a good tightening in your chest and then forget. That is why I prepared the powerful digital book for you, How to Know If You Will Be Saved on Judgment Day. Look at the size of what you just received in this video. You learned the 5 steps. You understood what the sign of purity is. You can already see your own liberation happening. But the world outside will try to erase all of this by tomorrow morning. Work, bills, noise, worries. The book exists precisely so that this does not happen. It takes you by the hand and leads you day after day, page after page, from doubt to the firm certainty that you are at peace with me and prepared for whatever comes, including the day when everyone will give an account. I did not bring you to the end of this video for you to close your phone and continue the same way as always. I brought you here because your story will change, and it will change the story of those you love along with it. The link is in the description and pinned at the top of the comments. Do not leave it for tomorrow, because tomorrow is exactly the place where good intentions go to die buried. The content may be taken down, and the impulse to act is stronger now than it will ever be again. Decide today, and comment with faith the word yes. And before you go, I want to tell you one more time, looking deep inside you soul to soul. The sign of purity you asked me for is not in the distant future. It has already begun. It was this video. The restlessness that made you watch until the end, the tear that perhaps fell along the way, the weight that loosened in your chest while you listened. All of this was the sign arriving. You asked me, and I answered. Not with a lightning bolt tearing the sky, but with the right words at the right time on the right day for the right heart. Your heart. It was planned. It was delivered. It was for you. Now the choice is yours and yours alone. You can treat this as just another video among so many you watch, let it pass, and tomorrow be the same. Or you can treat it as the exact day you started to live truly clean, truly light, truly free. If you want more content like this that speaks directly to your soul without beating around the bush, subscribe to the channel right now. Leave your like because each like makes this message reach another person who is waking up in the middle of the night with the same weight you are carrying. And turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next calling, because it will come. And in the comments, I don't want you to write just anything. I want you to write with faith like someone signing a pact before me. Lord, I receive purity. The chain ends with me. Amen. Write this truly, feeling every word, because what you declare with your mouth today before me begins to be fulfilled in your life from this instant. You are my child, and my child does not walk around stained when the Father has living water to spare, gushing without end. What was left behind is left behind. What begins today begins clean. Go in peace, hold your head high, and never forget again. Today you were washed.